All right, in this example, we are relating quantities using a table, a graph, and an equation. It says the Booster Club members want to raise $50 to donate to a local charity. They buy pom-poms for 55 cents each. So they're going to buy the pom-poms 55 cents each, but then they're going to sell them for $1 each. So they're going to buy them for 55 cents, sell them for $1. How many pom-poms do they need to sell to reach their fundraising goal? Their goal is $50. So we're going to look for relationships. How can we use a table, a graph, and an equation to analyze the relationship between the independent and dependent variables? And over here, we have the dollar a pom-pom. The Booster Club raises 45 cents for each pom-pom that they sell. So for every pom-pom, they make 45 cents. So let's look down here. First thing that we need to do is we need to make a table to relate the number of pom-poms sold, which we're going to call N, to the amount of the money raised, which we're going to call R. These are our two variables that we're using. And we know that the amount raised depends, so the amount raised is the dependent. It depends on the number of pom-poms sold. So the number of pom-poms that we sell is going to be the independent, right? Because if I sell one pom-pom, I make 45 cents. But if I sell two pom-poms, I make more money. So here's a table. Okay, they already have this completed for you, and this is on page 240 of your Savas workbook. So we can see here's the R, here are the dependent. That's a dependent variable. And this is the independent variable. Okay, so when they sell 10 pom-poms, they're going to make $4.50, right? Because 10 times 45 cents gives you $4.50. When they sell 50 pom-poms, they're going to raise $22.50. And when they sell 110 pom-poms, they're going to raise $49.50. And remember, the goal that they have is $50. That is their goal. So we need to figure out this isn't enough. They need to sell more than 110. So how many would it be to make the $50? That's what we're trying to figure out. Okay, so here's a table that relates the number of pom-poms that we sell to how much they're going to earn. The second thing we need to do is graph the ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. So we have our X and our Y axes. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the table that we created and use that to figure out our X and Y axes. So we see that the Y axis is going to be the money raised. That is the dependent variable. And the X axis is going to be the number of pom-poms sold. That's the independent variable. So when we sell, or the Booster Club sells 10 pom-poms, so here's 10, they're going to make $4.50. Okay. When they sell 50 pom-poms, they're going to make $22.50. And when they sell 110, they're going to make $49.50. So this is showing us a visual, a graph, using our table and the ordered pairs that we made from the independent and dependent. This is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. All of the x's, all of the y's. And then the third thing we have to do is then write an equation that describes the relationship. So the amount of money raised, R, is 0.45 times the number of pom-poms sold, N. That's the 45 cents per each pom-pom. So what they did here, let me cover this up, is they're writing the equation. R, the amount of money raised, equals 45 cents times N, right? Because N could be, it could be 10, it could be 50, it could be 110, it could be 300. We don't know until we plug in a value, the number of pom-poms that they're selling. But this is the equation that's going to help us figure out how much money would they earn. So they're going to substitute the R equals 50 and solve for N. So what they're essentially doing is they're putting the 50 here. 50 equals 45 cents times N. And then they're going to solve it. Here we go. 50 equals 45 cents times N. So now to solve it, let me do it the way that I showed you. To solve it, right, you have to get the variable alone. So I'm drawing the line. I see that this is multiplication. So I know that in order to get N alone, I have to divide. So I'm going to divide by 45 cents. That cancels out and I'm left with N. And over here, I'm going to divide by 45 cents. Okay. So let's see. They just wrote it differently. They're doing it from left to right. 50 divided by 45 cents, which is the same thing as this, equals 45 cents times N divided by 45 cents, which is the same thing as this. And when they solve it, they get 111.11. So N is how many pom-poms do they need to sell, right? Number of pom-poms that they need to sell. But can you have 111.11 pom-poms? No, you can't have like a portion. This is a portion, a part of a pom-pom. So we have to round that up, right? So in order to make the $50, you have to sell 112 pom-poms. We round this up and we get 112. So what we did is we made the table to see the relationship between the independent and dependent variables. We graphed the ordered pairs and we wrote an equation. These are three different ways that we can understand the relationship between the independent and the dependent variables. And now we know after solving this that the Booster Club, if they want to raise $50, that they're going to have to sell 112 pom-poms.